Okay, gentlemen. Well, I am no screaming kitten or anything like that, and I'm too old for all that. So, well, I made a YouTube channel called The Whimpering Puppy. So, if you're like me and you don't have hundreds of millions of dollars in accounts, you're a whimpering puppy. Glad to meet you. Several people that I've talked to on the board today want to know why I am so bullish on SIRI. And if you listen to everything that they say, as far as the news media announcements and things like that, yeah, you got a lot of reasons to be, they're not going anywhere. Absolutely not true. Not that I believe that at all. Why I am so bullish, the thing that drew me into it is that Berkshire Hathaway has a major bet in this. Much more major than most of you probably actually know or believe unless you've read the filings. Here is my book of the filings. This is the meat of the Schedule 14A, which is the fold-in merger agreement. And this, whichever way I gotta go, I do not do this for a living, I have no idea. These are all the indices and stuff like that. It's got all your financial stuff. So for you financial gurus, it's starting in the F's and, well, A through basically K or something like that. But it's got all your consolidated financials and yada, yada, yada. I'm no finance guy. I am also not a big chart reader guy, technical analysis. I have books on all that. I've done this stuff for like 20 or 30 years, and I've read all kind of books about it. And yeah, back in the day, I considered myself somewhat of an aficionado, and I think that was kind of a lie. Sorry, I really don't know which way to go here. All right, but in regards to why I think SIRI has a very brilliant future. If you want a fast trade, I think this is going to give you lots of that, especially after the merger, if you want to swing trade this, which is kind of what a lot of people are doing right now. You'll just be able to do it for more money. So I like that. That gets into a lot of technical analysis and stuff like that, which I think can mislead you over time, and even a lot of these gurus are like, hey, I shouldn't do that. Whatever. Anyway, your own personal business is your own personal business, and why am I bullish on SIRI? First off, they have a lot of free cash flow. Even after the merger, that will stay the same. Since I think 2012, they've paid dividends, and it has increased every year. That does not appear to change. That is addressed in this filing, and it is their intention to continue that. So, that's number one. Now, for me, any stock I buy, the company must pay a dividend. If they don't pay a dividend, they're useless to me, because a dividend is an easy pick for someone to want to buy a stock. So it checks one of the boxes I look for. Everybody wants to buy something that pays a dividend. So depending on where it's at, yada, 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 is a reason to buy. All right, now as for the business itself, understand that the reason this fold-in merger is occurring is because of ownership interest. Anybody that owns LSXM A and K, yes, A and K up until this point, really could not do anything with their stock. They could not benefit from anything that occurred with SIRI. So that, all that stuff, there's 3.2 billion shares or something like that. They're sitting over there that are locked up. They're not going to go anywhere. And so this brings them into the fold of the company as a whole. I'll take the camera. Anyway, So, all right, let's get into something here. All right, on page 209, if you go to the filings, they're talking about useful life of broadcast transmission systems. Their satellite systems are includes the cost of satellite construction, launch vehicles, blah, 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 blah. Currently, they operate two in-orbit satellites, FM5 and FM6, which are launched in 09 and 13 respectively, and estimate they will operate effectively through the end of their disposable lives in 2024 and 2028. They also operate three XM satellites, XM3, 5, and SXM8. XM3 satellite was launched in 05, and its depreciable life ended in 2020. XM5 satellite was launched in 10, depreciable life ends 2025. SXM8 satellite launched in 21, and it will reach its depreciable life in 2036. They are launching 4 new satellites. SXM 9, 10, 11, and 12. Those are launching this year or next year, I believe. Anyway, the new satellites will, as I understand it, are supposed to severely reduce their operating cost. So earnings per share will climb after 2025 substantially, as I understand it. Like right now, they're spending $1 billion a year, which is why you have a lot of cost association, because they're putting satellites in orbit. Once that's done, all that goes away. That increases their free cash flow to do whatever they want. In here, there's also talk about acquisitions. So who knows what the future could be? I don't know what they're going to acquire. I didn't really read through all that. But apparently, SIRI is looking to acquire some things. In here also, they talk about SIRI is not allowed to sell itself out to someone else. So as I understand it, SIRI can buy other people, but by proxy, there will be a fight to keep anybody from buying SIRI, because although Mr. Malone, who owns 83% of the stock, he will still own that after conversion. I do not see anything where he intends to sell. Now, after conversion, if you go to page 240 and 241, you're going to see after LSXM A and K convert, what these different people hold in new share values. Berkshire Hathaway will own 90.9 million of about 380 million shares. Now, to me, that's roughly 30%. Vanguard will own 25.7 million. National Indemnity owns 68 million. Geico owns 61 million. Government Employee Insurance Company owns 58 million. And I am not certain that that isn't managed somehow by Berkshire. Berkshire Hathaway Consolidated Pension Plan and Berkshire Hathaway Consolidated Pension Plan Master Trust owns a cumulative of 10 million shares. A little more than that, actually. BNSF Master Retirement Trust owns 3.3 million shares. Precision Castings owns 1.9 million shares. Upon conversion, as I see the world, SIRI stock is actually going to get tighter. All these big holders, I don't think are looking for a today flip of the stock. Now, you go out 2 years from now when earnings per share, I have no idea what they're at. Let's say they're $4 a share. Let's say earnings per share crawls up to $8, $9 a share. What will that do to our share price? I personally think it's going to drive it right through the roof, especially if they start declaring, I don't know, some sort of special dividends. I'm extremely bullish on this because they're reorganizing the business. Take into account another thing. if you're unaware, Apple and Google were wanting to get into the satellite radio business. They did not. And a lot of it had to do with Malone's ownership. I think there was some talk to SIRI about doing it, and they said, no, I don't know. I don't know any of that for a fact. But I do know this year, Apple and Google, said they're not doing it. They're going to do the streaming services only. Now, theoretically, SIRI's putting new satellites into orbit, all new stuff. They could be like, hey, we'll host it for you if you'd like to do it, and they get income from it. Not saying they are, it's just hypothetical. If they do that, that is a huge reason for this to climb even further. It would kind of reclassify it from a radio stock into a tech stock. Now, other things to keep in mind from my perspective. Berkshire Hathaway is here because this is a subscriber-based business. Advertisement revenue is a part of that. But this is a simple business. People pay money to listen to music. It's easy to understand, and it's just easy to understand. Warren Buffett's always wanted the easy to understand stocks, an easy to understand company. He buys companies. He invests in stocks, but his investment is into the company. He's always said that. The stock is just the byproduct. He has to be looking into the future, into what this can do, because he is a major holder in LSXMK. So, he may be privy to something we don't know, like maybe finally allowing Apple to do, something via satellite, maybe SIRI hosting it. That's a wild conjecture. I'm not even saying it's possible. I have no idea. But there's business opportunities that are available after this merger that, as I understand it, really have not been till now. That because of Liberty Media owning this, it has failed to achieve some of its glory, let's say, because they wanted to do things that I guess Liberty Media felt could be considered a direct competition to them. And you can't blame them for that. But I guess that's the long and the short of it. There's no way I can make a post about this. And I am sorry if I rambled, and I hope I was clear. If I ever do this again, maybe I'll take the time to write my thoughts down so that they're not jumbled and you don't have to listen to it. Thank you, gentlemen.